All right, everybody, welcome in. We've got a nice sunset show. The Seattle Seahawks have lost in very painful fashion. Very painful fashion. I mean, Sam Darnold, 6 incompletions all game, a 135.4 rating, but an interception. I think it glanced off a defensive lineman's helmet in his own territory with the score tied 35-35. The final couple minutes of the game set up a Chase McLaughlin game-winning field goal for Tampa Bay, who is the 49ers' next opponent. So they flexed the Tampa Bay game from a 10 a.m. Pacific time start to 1:25 p.m. Pacific time start. So it's going to be 4:25 Eastern next Sunday. And the NFL, I'm sure, is very, very happy about that decision. 49ers and Bucs will both be 4-1 when this game happens. So it's going to be one of the marquee games, if not the marquee game of next week. And the Bucs, in making it such a marquee matchup, help out the 49ers, winning 38-35 in Seattle. Baker Mayfield, by the way, only 4 incompletions. It was the game that defense forgot up until the Lombardi David pick, with, I think, just over a minute left to set up the Chase McLaughlin field goal. If McLaughlin sounds familiar, by the way, he was the kicker backing up Robbie Gould back in 2019, who kicked it into the tunnel at Levi's Stadium when the 49ers had a chance to win in overtime. He's developed into a much better kicker since then, and today Chase McLaughlin was good from 39 yards out to beat the Seahawks 38-35. Anyway, standings-wise, right now, you've got the Seattle Seahawks behind the 49ers. All they had an opportunity today was to tie at 4-1 because they were 3-1. Now the Seahawks are 3-2. So the NFC West goes 49ers 4-1, best record in the NFC, tied with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whom they face next week, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who lost today at home against the Denver Broncos. Second place, Seattle. Third place, the Los Angeles Rams, and Seattle and the Rams are tied at 3-2. But the tiebreaker currently goes to Seattle. It's still early, so we don't have to worry about that. Arizona at 2-2, and Arizona's still playing right now. I could look at the score. Wow, the Titans down 2 to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm in Tennessee right now. The hometown Titans are hanging in there, and it's 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 18 with a minute 53 to go. So I'm sure some people are watching that. Mike, you can keep me updated on how Titans-Cardinals finishes up. But the fact that the Seahawks lost that game, it 2 things. A, division rival loses at home in a painful fashion. 49ers have to absolutely love that. This was a game where Darnold was escaping, he's a great, great quarterback now, by the way. Sam Darnold you got to give him his flowers, and I guess you give the 49ers their flowers because they're the ones who started the rehabilitation of his career. But he's a problem up in Seattle, usually for opposing defenses up until the final pick glanced off the helmet and went to Lombardi David today. The Seahawks, though, today, defensively, the way they were not able to do anything productive against Baker Mayfield, I think that's got to be very concerning for Seattle. They didn't have Julian Love, their safety, and the entire back end seemed to fall apart. Egbuka for Tampa Bay, the rookie, 7 catches, 163 yards. This is not going to be easy for the 49ers next week. I mean, Tampa Bay, they don't have Mike Evans, and they probably won't have Bucky Irving. They both missed this game, and they're almost certainly going to miss next week against San Francisco. But they did draft Egbuka in the first round, and he went off today. They do still have Godwin, 3 big catches, 26 yards today. They still have Sterling Shepard, who caught the game-tying touchdown pass for Tampa Bay. And they've got Baker Mayfield, who was 29-33 for 379 yards. Baker, I mean, if you want to talk about moxie at the quarterback position, we saw it from both Darnold and Baker today. We saw it from Baker last year when Bosa couldn't bring him down. I mean, that was an epic game. The 49ers were able to win in Tampa, but Tampa was down both Mike Evans and Godwin last year. They're going to be down Evans again, but now they've got Egbuka into the mix. He is going to be a problem for this team. They weren't able to run the ball very well against Seattle, so I think no Bucky Irving does help the 49ers, but I think this is going to be a real test for San Francisco. Now, the fact that Tampa Bay was not able to stop Seattle up until the last drive of the game, that obviously, I think, bodes better for 49ers offense where there are quarterback questions. I would assume that Mac Jones starts again next week just based on the way things have been going. But it's going to be a marquee matchup for sure, and I think that you could start to toss a lot of the 49ers' unavailabilities out the window because they've already notched so many big wins this season with a lot of guys out. But they should start getting some guys back for this game against Tampa Bay. Again, the NFL has to be thrilled that they flexed this game into the later window because it's going to be really good action between 4-1 San Francisco, 4-1 Tampa Bay. Maybe for NFC supremacy in the standings. We'll see what the Philadelphia Eagles are able to do next week. Tennessee is apparently moving the ball. The Tennessee Titans are at the Arizona 15-yard line. I hope that my in-laws are watching the game in the house inside because the Titans may beat the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I even want to put this game on. I think I could put on YouTube TV on my screen that I'm holding here. What a great Tennessee sunset you guys are getting, right? Yeah, YouTube TV is going to work here. Just give me a second. The Wi-Fi is extending out of the house just enough, but it's making me sign in. I'm getting a little bit restless. Don't ruin the end of the game for me in case I'm behind here. Mike, we might get there, we might not. I don't know. The internet probably strong enough to stream from out here, but not strong enough to stream the end of the Arizona-Tennessee Titans game. That would be a big boost for the rest of the NFC West to essentially knock Arizona into a position where it would be very difficult to come back from. I mean, the Cardinals already right now, I think, are the worst team in the division. And if they start losing games to the worst team in the NFL, like the Tennessee Titans, then things could start unraveling very quickly for the Arizona Cardinals. All right, I got it up. I got it open here. Tennessee has the football. Under 20 seconds left. Oh my God, Tennessee all the way to the 4. Oh my goodness. I'm on YouTube TV. I might be a little bit behind you guys. I'll show you my setup though. Jonathan Gannon does not look like a happy camper. This is what I'm watching right now. Titans from the 4-yard line. 19 seconds to go. I'm guessing Cam Ward is just going to center this ball. That's exactly what he does. Takes the knee. The Titans are going to call the Arizona's probably going to call timeout to preserve a little bit of time on the clock. But at some point soon, we're going to have Tennessee trying to take a game-winning field goal. Speaking of former 49ers kickers, that's Joey Sly. Remember the really buff kicker that San Francisco used to have? So Chase McLaughlin just beat one of the 49ers division rivals, the Seattle Seahawks, and then Joey Sly, 49ers had him backing up Robbie Gould in 2020, is going to have a chance to knock off another one of the 49ers division rivals in Arizona. There's a knee by Cam Ward and probably another timeout by the Arizona Cardinals with 14 seconds to go. So we got some time to pass here as we wait for the game-winning field goal attempt. 21-19, Arizona over the Tennessee Titans in the desert. Kyler Murray looking dejected on the bench. Earlier today, the 49ers secured the top record in the NFC when the Philadelphia Eagles lost. So now both Philly and the 49ers are 4-1. Tampa Bay joins them. Seattle falls out of bidding for 4-1 with a heartbreaking loss at home. But I'll tell you what, the Bucs are going to be a problem. This really has set up a showdown for next week in Tampa Bay. Another kneel down for Cam Ward. You know, earlier I was watching this game and I was talking about Jeffrey Simmons, I know on Twitter. I think Tennessee's terrible. Even if they win this game, I think Tennessee should think about selling at some point here over the next few weeks. Jeffrey Simmons, the Tennessee Titans defensive tackle, is a stud and somebody that the 49ers can be really interested in if Tennessee is indeed selling. Here comes the really buff kicker, Joey Sly. He's out there. He's ready to try to boot this one through for the Tennessee Titans to beat the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if my family's watching. I know they're grilling inside. I know, they kind of gave up on the Tennessee Titans. I know you guys might be ahead of me. It is a 29-yard attempt, so you could see. 3 seconds to go. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is barely in. The Titans beat the Arizona Cardinals. Another NFC West team has fallen. 22-21, the first career win for Cam Ward. Kyler Murray looks absolutely stunned on the sideline. Jonathan Gannon cannot be happy. The Titans, Callahan, they're very happy. Look at Cam Ward. Look at Joey Sly. So within the course of about 15 to 20 minutes, we've seen two ex-49ers kickers, both backups to Robbie Gould, beat San Francisco division rivals in the NFC West. First, Chase McLaughlin for Tampa Bay to beat Seattle, and now Joey Sly for Tennessee to beat the Arizona Cardinals 22-21. So again, updated NFC West standings on, it's great. How's everybody enjoying their stress-free day for the 49ers? They go out there and they win a miraculous game against the Rams, the Mac Jones miracle on Thursday, where they had like a 2% chance to win based on the stats of that game, to move to 4-1. So 49ers fans, you guys just get to sit back and chill, watch a sunset. I get to watch a sunset here in Tennessee as I talk to you. And while you're sitting back and chilling, the NFC West absolutely throws up all over itself. This means that every single NFC West team outside the 49ers has lost here in Week 5 because the Rams lost to the 49ers. So updated standings now in the NFC West. We can get them open right here if the Wi-Fi is going to be cooperative. It might not be. It was cooperative for long enough so I could see the end of that Tennessee Titans game. Here we go. 49ers at 4-1. The Seattle Seahawks at 3-2. The Los Angeles Rams at 3-2, and they still haven't updated Arizona. They're going to be at 2-3 because Tennessee has notched their first win. 1-4 for the Tennessee Titans. Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the matchup between Tampa Bay and the 49ers because the Buccaneers are obviously legit. We saw them. I think they would have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles had it not been for a big special teams gap. You know what? A blocked punt for Philadelphia that led directly to points against Tampa Bay? Cam Latu. Yes, the Cam Latu, the third-round pick out of Alabama who didn't do anything for the 49ers, who they cut. Cam Latu blocked the punt for the Philadelphia Eagles to send Tampa Bay into a tailspin early in that game. So that's what's kept Tampa from being undefeated. So obviously you've got to try to win the special teams battle. The 49ers did this past week, and that ended up being one of the big differences in their win against the Rams. But, I will say that the 49ers defense is leaking total oil right now. The defensive line is going to be down Yetur Gross-Matos with a hamstring injury. We saw him go down against the Rams. And, they've already obviously lost Nick Bosa, but Kalia Davis broke his hand, so he's not going to play against Tampa Bay either. He's probably going to miss 2 games. The 49ers are in that no man's land. It's October 5th as we speak. They're in that no man's land where I don't know if it's possible to make a trade yet. You talk about Jeffrey Simmons and the Titans. Well, the Titans just won, so they're not going to turn around and trade Jeffrey Simmons right after a win. Trey Hendrickson might be somebody who becomes available a little bit later in October, although I will say that the Bengals just are getting completely stomped. I'm sure that game's already finished by the Detroit Lions. But you're in that time before the trade deadline is close enough to expect any actual moves to happen. So you're in that little interim window right now as the 49ers where you're just going to have to tough it out. And Yetur Gross-Matos was their most productive interior pass rusher. So you've lost your most productive exterior pass rusher in Nick Bosa. You've lost your most productive interior pass rusher in Yetur Gross-Matos. You're about to go up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that just put up 38 points on the road in Seattle. Now, the break for the 49ers is going to come if Bucky Irving doesn't play, if Mike Evans doesn't play, but neither of those guys played today, and they did what they did against the Seattle Seahawks. So The 49ers it's been an uphill battle this year to get to where they are. Somehow, some way, they have managed to squeak out victories that they probably shouldn't have squeaked out, at least 2 of them, right? The win probability after the game, when you looked at the numbers of both the Arizona game and this past one against the Rams, were not high. It was only 2% against the Rams. But the 49ers are developing that penchant of clutchness at the end of games, and they may have to be doing that again against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that Baker Mayfield is playing some of the best football I've ever seen him play. I think Emeka Egbuka is a problem. The 49ers have been, the outside corners have been covering decently well, but Marquise Siegel is somebody who the Rams were able to pick on. Upton Stout is somebody who the Rams were able to pick on. For these rookies, it's been boom or bust for San Francisco, as we've expected. They are having to grow up right in front of our eyes with being thrown to the wolves. Somebody like Alfred Collins, yeah, thrown to the wolves, but he delivered against the Rams. Who's going to be that next hero if the 49ers are going to be able to move to 5-1 after this bye? Because I think it's too early to expect veteran reinforcements to come in via trade for San Francisco. By the way, how's that sunset right now behind me? That's epic. I mean, this is exactly what we wanted. You know, Christian McCaffrey sent me, his company did, at least, that While on Earth. I'm not paid for this at all, but I do want to show his shoes off. We'd step back here. These are CMC's new shoes, While on Earth. So I can do this because I have the mic and we've got the good sunset. This is the laptop that I'm holding as we do this show. But I'm just going to step closer so I could see what you guys are asking. You know what happened last year against Tampa Bay? CMC returned for the 49ers from the Achilles, and he caught that rainbow pass from Brock Purdy. That was a great game last year. It kind of gets buried under the avalanche of all the crap that happened to the 49ers. But in the very little short window, the 4-game window of Christian McCaffrey's return to the 49ers, he did some special stuff out on the field. I mean, that was the Purdy to CMC on the rainbow pass game, and then Purdy hit George Kittle in the back of the end zone. A couple spectacular plays. Remember that was the Jake Moody game where he missed 3 or 4 field goals, but he made the game winner at the very end, and he had Deebo Samuel and Tabor Pepper getting into it on the sideline. Neither of those guys on the 49ers anymore, but Christian is still with San Francisco, and they should be getting some receiver help back. And if this 49ers defensive line is as depleted as we expect it to be entering this game, and they don't get any of the greasy turnover help that they were able to help generate, obviously. You got to give Alfred Collins some credit for what he did against the Rams. The Rams also had a botched pitch that had nothing to do with the 49ers. But if the 49ers don't score anything positive in the takeaway giveaway department, if the Bucs are able to play that even, San Francisco is going to have to turn around and just outscore Tampa Bay. It's similar to what we saw today in the Seattle-Tampa Bay game. It may have to be a shootout in the 49ers' favor. And I think that's where the fact that the 49ers have 2 quarterbacks who they really believe in Brock Purdy and Mac Jones looms large. Like, the 49ers and the Rams are probably the only 2 teams in the league who can confidently enter a game without their QB1 and say, you know what, we can win in a potential shootout. Like, I'd honestly say that. The Rams have Jimmy Garoppolo. We know that he can win in a shootout, especially in the right system. And the 49ers, especially in the right system. Mac Jones, another number 10 for San Francisco, can do the same thing. So obviously we'll be watching that over the course of this week. But it really might come down to the big-time, high-scoring game for San Francisco. Last year was hot in Tampa. It was really, really hot in Tampa. And I think that does end up benefiting offenses toward the back half of the game. And I wonder what moves the 49ers will make along the defensive line this week to take some of the pressure off of the remaining healthy guys in that unit. I mean, I'm opening up my 90-man depth chart here. As you can see, depth chart and the sunset, good stuff. Somebody's saying Baker is freaking good. He's going to be a problem. Come on, Saleh. Yeah, it's going to be – 49ers are going to be facing a monster of a Tampa Bay offense next week. Remember that Tampa Bay has only lost because of their special teams this year. Baker almost brought them back against the Philadelphia Eagles, who did melt today against the Denver Broncos. But anyway, for the 49ers defensive line, you can see here, this is the D-line. They're going to be down Green, Oh, sorry, Green is good. But Upton Stout, Green was healthy by the end of the game. I forgot to, well, why am I saying Green? Sorry, I'm clearly confused. I had Renato Green listed as an injury, but he's not hurt. The 49ers defensive line is going to be down Kalia Davis. Alfred Collins is dealing with a knee sprain. Yetur Gross-Matos is not going to play. We'll see if Collins does, and Robert Beal Jr. was hurt for this past one. So do the 49ers call up Evan Anderson? He had a huge play against Tampa Bay last year. Big run stop for the 49ers late in that game to hold Tampa Bay to a field goal. So that could happen. Do we see the first of the Hulk, Sebastian Valdez, as the 49ers dig deep? Do we see Trevis Gibson, who recovered that fumble on the pitch from Matthew Stafford to Blake Corum against the Rams, which hit the ground? It was Trevis Gibson who fell on it. The 49ers, this is going to be another skeleton crew kind of effort. Maybe not on offense, which is good because they're probably going to have to win a little bit of a shootout. But on defense, what can they do? How can they dig deep, scrounge just enough productivity from that pass rush and that run defense to keep Tampa Bay at bay? Because the Seattle Seahawks at home were not able to do it today. They gave up 38 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, Baker Mayfield was absolutely epic in this game for the Buccaneers. We're talking 29 of 33, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was really, really good stuff. 49ers, sole possession, first place, NFC West. I think we've gotten the brunt of that sunset. That's what I was hoping to give you guys. Thanks for watching. It's supposed to be the chill day. Ended up being a work day because so much is happening around the division. Everybody, thank you for watching.